Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Welcome to my Friday Facebook Live. Today's project is going to be using the Quiet Meadow Bundle, which we've been talking about all week. I'm not going to make this card, though. I am going to make this card, but it's not going to be this color. So I made this card back in July when I first got my Quiet Meadow Bundle. I wanted to use the new in colors. So you can see there's some pale papaya there, some fresh freesia. I even have some soft succulent and evening evergreen in there in the bottom. But I wanted to remake that card. I like it. I like how it looks. I like the technique I used to get the colors blended together. But we're going to remake it today. First, I just want to talk about a little bit about my VIP group. So if you're watching this, speaking of my VIP group, let me get this video in there. Oh my goodness, what am I doing on a Friday? My VIP group is a group for fans of Sassy Paper Crafts, my customers, my downline. We're all in there. We have a good time in there, and I do live videos there every Sunday. So I will be going live this Sunday in there. If you would like to join my VIP group, the link is in the description of this video. I also do giveaways on Sunday. So if you join my VIP group and comment on my most recent Sunday live, you will be entered to win a prize. This week's prize is the texture and frame stamp set from Celebration. So if you'd like to win that, go ahead, join my VIP group. I'll accept your request after this video, and then you can comment on that live and be entered to win. Also, I just want a quick note. I love my fellow demonstrators. I love you guys. My VIP group is not for you. The place you want to be is right here on my page. So if you are a fellow demonstrator, know that I love you and you can watch me here on my page. So with that said, let's get started on this project. So I want to use the same stamp set, the same technique, same design, different colors. So I want to make it more fall-like. So I'm going to go with crumb cake, Cajun craze, and some basic white here. And I'm going to show you how to get that prettiness there. So I just have a scrap here of basic white. We're going to do that first. Let me move my stamp set. And I have some crumb cake ink, some cinnamon cider, and some Cajun craze. So let's go ahead and open those up. Let me click on that so I can see if anybody has commented. Go ahead, if you are watching, give me a comment, say hello. I love to chat with you guys live. So I'm going to first go in with the crumb cake because that's kind of the lightest color we have. And I'm using just a blending brush. I haven't cleaned this yet, so that's why it's so dirty. And I'm just going to start off on my grid paper and kind of come in. And then I'm going to go in with the cinnamon cider. And again, starting off on my grid paper and kind of coming in. And the cinnamon cider is more of a reddish brown, orangish. So it's very different than the crumb cake. So you'll get a nice contrast there. I'm going to go down here on the bottom and then with the Cajun craze. Now this is a very strong color, so I'm really going to go onto my grid paper. And if you get a clump like I did there on the edge, don't worry about it because you're not going to use the edges anyways. You can kind of bring that color up and around, and I don't want it to be straight across. I kind of did that on the first card. I went straight across with my colors, and I didn't really like how it turned out. So that's why, another reason too, why we're redoing this card today. Go back in with a little more crumb cake. And again, if you get too much like I just did on the edge there, it's fine. Went with some cinnamon cider. And don't worry about blending your inks like that because I'm barely tapping my blending brush onto the ink pad. I'm just tapping it enough just to get a little bit of color. So it shouldn't do anything to your ink pads. But if you're really worried about it, you can use 3 separate blending brushes. All right, so that is blended enough because I'm actually not even going to use this piece. I already have some cut out, but I'm going to show you. And mine looked like that when I die cut it. So if it looks too dark for you, it lightens up as it dries. There's just a lot of ink there. And I'll show you what I mean. So I kind of did the same thing on this, but it lightened up a lot because this is dry, this is still not. And then I die cut it. And so, oh, they're stuck together. Hang on. I die cut them and you get pieces like that. I'm gonna put those there. I'm going to show you the dies I used quickly. So the Meadows dies comes with so many dies. So I used this one here, and that you can do one on there. And I did two because I wasn't sure what I wanted to use. Or you can use that one. But there's also these pretty flowers, which I used on my last card that I posted. There's this like dandelion looking puffy one. There's just some stems here. There's so many pretty dies. There's a couple of butterflies, a little tag, some just little leaves. Cannot talk today on a Friday. We're also going to be using that, this die here for our sentiment. So once everything is cut out, you can bring back in your card base, your Cajun Craze, and your basic white. And now you could do something to the base white, emboss it, something like that. I just left it plain. I'm going to put down my basic white onto my Cajun Craze. I'm about to run out of seal, which I forgot to grab another roll of it. So if I run out, we'll have to use Seal Plus because that's what I have. And then I'm going to grab the 3/8 inch diamond weave ribbon. And this is very vanilla, but I just think it's such a fall looking ribbon, that like crocheted type look. So I'm just going to kind of lay it out, grab my paper snips, trim it. I have glue or something stuck on it. I really need to clean those because it's driving me crazy. And then I'm just going to grab some of my Scotch tape that's falling apart. And you know what? Before I put down the ribbon, I should put down my flower, what I want to use. But I'm not sure which one. Maybe both. Let's see what they look like. I think I'm going to go with this one. And then two, if you wanted, if that was too soft to look for you, you could always grab a sponge dauber. And I think I am going to go in with a little bit of cinnamon cider. I was going to grab Cajun Craze. I think I'll use cinnamon cider. And just sponge the edges. Whoops, bumping the camera. And it just gives a little bit more detail. Just sponge these really quick. And then we'll put our ribbon on, and then we have to do a little bit of stamping. I like how that looks. Put the cinnamon cider away. And then I can take either glue dots, liquid glue. I think I'm going to go with liquid glue for this one. I'm dotting it all over. Trying not to do too much because when you push down on it, it will come out the side. So I'm just putting little bits, little dots maybe. Am I out? Oh, there it goes. Push that down. Sometimes I like to even take a clear block and lay it on there for a second, just for that, to give that glue time to dry. The liquid glue is great for if you aren't quite sure where you want to place something. It's movable. Where seal, basically, as soon as you touch it to paper, it's stuck. I'm just taking my blocks and kind of pushing it down a little bit. And then now I can add my ribbon. And I did a bow on the last card, but it kind of covered up my sentiment, so I'm not going to do a bow on this one. Oops. So now we can do our stamping. So I'm just going to take my card base, and it's a crumb cake base. I'm going to use crumb cake ink. And then we're going to be using these words and the splatter stamp. Take my words, put them on an H block. And my splatter stamp can go on a D block. I'm going to move this because I'm going to save that guy for another card. And I'm keeping my card base folded. I don't want to get any ink or anything on the back side of it. So I'm just keeping that folded. And this is called tone-on-tone stamping. So we're using crumb cake ink and a crumb cake cardstock. So whoops, tone-on-tone. I keep hitting this thing. I'm just going up about 3 times, kind of going off a little bit. And then with the splatter stamp, I'm just going to go all over. And I'm going to stamp 3 times before I re-ink. I'm kind of turning the stamp a little bit as I go. Oh my goodness, I keep bumping that. Sorry if I'm making anybody motion sick. Geez. One more. And that should be good. I'll put my ink away and clean my stamps. Actually, I shouldn't put my ink away yet because we did not stamp sentiment, but that's okay. I'm going to use a different color. I think I'm going to go Cajun Craze. We'll keep the same 3 colors. I think I'll use Cajun Craze for the sentiment. And instead of the thinking of you, I think I'm going to go with the you're too kind. I'm going to go ahead and put that on a C block. And grab my Cajun Craze. And I already have my little label from the Meadow Dies cut out. I'm going to try to get this lined up on the first try, which hopefully I do, because if you turn this one over, the stitching and everything looks weird. So let's hope I get it right. I'm just lining my label up on my grid paper. Looks good to me. And then I'm just going to clean my stamps quick, and then we can put our card together. And also in my VIP group, I want to tell you guys about this. We just did our first Zoom craft night, and it was so fun. So I'm going to be doing another one again in November. I haven't set a date for it yet, but if you were interested in doing a Zoom craft night, you get basically me and a couple of my VIP members one-on-one. So you can ask questions, you could come in and make a card with us. Super fun. And I did give out prizes in there too for the early birds, people that showed up. So if you'd like to do that, you can join my VIP group as well. I'm just putting some dimensionals on the back of our panel here. I'm just going to kind of center it. I'm grabbing a basic white panel here for the inside. that on the inside, and then a couple more dimensionals for our little label here. Put that above the ribbon. There. So I'm going to do that. And then as a finishing touch, I have a few of the wonderful gems. There's like this clear with the gold in it and then some real red. And there's two sizes, a large and a small. I'm going to use the larger ones. These are in the mini catalog. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Crooked. There. And so that is our card. I'll bring back in the other one. So see, they're very similar, but this one screams spring to me, and this one is definitely more fall. So I hope you enjoyed our project today. I hope to see you in my VIP group, and I will be live again Sunday. If I don't see you in there, I will see you right back here next Friday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.